Hello and welcome, Waynesville Yoga family. How are you today? My name is Renee and this class is Flow and Align. So the focus for this week's Flow and Align practice is it's going to be our knees. So knees, much like the core, are just critical as having good strength and mobility in that area to support us in virtually every yoga pose that we engage in. And so you want to make sure that your knees are in good strength, good motion as you take your practice into more complex poses. So how are we going to do that today? So we are going to focus on postures that contract and strengthen the muscle around the knee, as well as poses that will stretch and increase our range of motion and flexibility around there. What muscles are we focusing on? It's going to be our quads, it's going to be our hamstrings, hips, and core. So looking forward to this practice today. Should be a good one that I highly recommend that you come back to time throughout your practice, so that as you advance, you're building up these basic alignment moves, making sure that as you advance, that you're maintaining good alignment, good strength, good flexibility in all of your poses. It's always good to just dial it down, downshift just a little bit, and revisit some of the basics to make sure that you are on your way to a healthy yoga practice as you move forward in the future. So before we get started, just a couple of minor housekeeping things. I always like to talk about props very quickly before we get started. I usually have 3 basic tools available, and I highly recommend that you do the same. Don't necessarily have to be these exact tools, but their rough equivalent is fine. And those are the yoga blanket, really great for cushioning knees anytime you're down on your knees or you need a little bit of height, perfect to sit on. You can also roll it up as a neck roll or snuggle up in it for Shavasana. Secondly, our yoga bolster. So this is like, a typical sturdy cushion. If you don't have a bolster, a couch cushion will do, just something that's going to be able to give you that height and lift, providing comfort, but not necessarily something that sinks down. And you get lost in it as you're trying to get a little support there. But really great for giving you some lift and height in the hips when you're in seated positions, as well as support in certain supine and prone positions as well. Really great for that. And lastly, of course, our yoga blocks. These are great for a variety of things, particularly giving you length and support. So you want to make sure that if you don't have actual yoga blocks available, that you've got something of rough size. That's fine. Just make sure also that they're sturdy enough to support your weight when you put pressure down on them, so you're not crushing down into your support. But again, really great tools to really help your practice. And I really encourage them for our different practices here in Flow and Align, just because they can be really helpful in terms of helping you find that alignment and really finding great expression of poses. Again, not required, just a recommendation. And lastly, music. We do not have music in our video classes, but if you have a soundtrack or something that you like to play along in the background, I highly recommend it. I know for me, music is a really critical piece of my yoga practice, and I love having it available. So I highly encourage you that if it fuels your practice, to definitely have it on hand. My only suggestion is have your device or whatever it is that you're controlling your music with handy, because at the end of practice during our Shavasana time, of course, we're going to have our standard little bit of quiet time, but I will also be taking you through a guided yoga nidra relaxation. So you'll definitely want to make sure that you can turn your music down at the end of the practice so you can hear the sound of my voice as we go through our final rest. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with today's practice. We are going to start in a standing position in Tadasana, mountain pose. As you prepare for mountain pose, again, always be sure to get your feet really well grounded into your mat. So you want to make sure that you've got the four corners of the feet grounded into the floor. And you'll see that when you have that good foundation, your toes will spread open a little bit. Wonderful. You want to make sure that your feet are comfortably, I'd say about hip distance apart, maybe a little bit less. Some people like to take Tadasana with their feet together. Completely up to you. It does not matter what you want to make sure that you're doing though in our practice, and particularly today as we focus on knee health, is that you are contracting and lifting those quad muscles as you're grounding down from the hips into the feet. So from the hips down, we're grounding down in the floor, but we've got a nice uplift in our legs. And then from the core, from the base of the spine up to the crown of the head, we've got a nice, tall, lifted spine. You're not flaring out the ribs here, but you've got a nice, straight line of energy going up from the waist and then grounding down through the feet. Beautiful. Now go ahead and close your eyes and take a nice cleansing deep breath in. And a nice deep audible breath out. Beautiful. Go ahead. Inhale in. And cleansing breath out. One more time. Inhale it in. And audible sigh out. And just begin to feel the distractions of the day, the sounds outside of the room, anything on your to-do list. Just feel it start to slowly melt away. Eyes are closed. If you prefer to keep your eyes open, just soften your gaze. And begin to tune in to the sound of their natural breath. Feel the nice cool inhales and the warm exhales. And again, just let the room melt away. Just tuck away any little things that you've got to do later and just dedicate this hour to you. And as you center in on your practice, I invite you to set an intention for today. Maybe something that inspires your practice or encourages you to move today. Could be a goal for the end of the practice. I will be of peace of mind. Or it could be something that you want to accomplish by the end of the day, or the end of the week, or month. It doesn't matter. It's yours to own. And as you center in, be sure to start to introduce that Ujjayi breathing. That nice ocean rushing sound in the back of the throat. Beautiful. And on your next inhale, just begin to slowly open your take back in the colors of the room. And on your next inhale, go ahead and raise those arms up to the sky. And then at the top of that motion, hold and pause here. And just be sure to do a check with those shoulders. Where are they? Are they up around here in your neck? Or are those shoulder blades down and back, down the back? And if you need a moment, just go ahead and shrug those shoulders up, bring those shoulder blades back down the back. You'll find that you'll get a little bit more lift in the arms. Beautiful. Exhale down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale those arms up. And exhale them down. And your next inhale up. Bring those arms up to the sky. And then exhale the right arm down. And lean your body over to that right side. Remember, I don't mirror. So go ahead and just lean to your natural right. And inhale up. And then exhale on down to the other side. Beautiful. And again, anytime you're raising those arms up, just check that shoulder motion. What's your shoulder doing? Is it way up here in your ear? Or do you have a nice slide of your shoulder blade down your back? Beautiful. Inhale up. Exhale to the other side. One more time to the other side. Inhale up. And exhale it on over. Beautiful. Now inhale up. This time you're going to take a nice little twist. Just rotating the upper body. You're not bringing your whole body with you, just the upper body, because you're warming up that core and that back. Inhale up. Exhale to the other side. Beautiful. Inhale up. Exhale to the other side. And then inhale up. And exhale to the other side. Beautiful. And your next inhale, bring those arms up to the sky. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me. And then on your next exhale, sink down into your chair. Beautiful. Now this is a really great pose for, like I said, we're going to focus on contracting and stretching. The first half of our practice is going to be on contracting those muscles around here for strength. So chair is a beautiful pose for improving that knee health. Beautiful. Hold here. So what are we doing? We want to make sure that when we're in our chair, our hips are back and down. We can see our toes. We're not leaning over. We've got a good line of sight to our toes. Our arms are up in the air. Now again, with chair, much like a lot of our various standing postures, feet can either be together or you can have your feet about hip distance apart. That's really just a comfort thing. People learn chair different ways. So just do whatever comes naturally and comfortably for you and however you typically perform chair. Me, I find that early in my practice, I tend to have my feet a little farther apart, and then as I move along in my practice, I tend to bring those feet together. But that's just me. Beautiful job. Couple more breaths here. Sink down into those hips. Beautiful. We're working quads, we're working hips, we're working glutes, and core. Again, with the core, make sure you've got a nice long line of energy. You're not hunched over, but you've got a nice long line of energy here. Holding that core in tight. Beautiful. Come up to stand. Bring your arms down by your side and find your Tadasana. Excellent job. Now again, inhale those arms up, then exhale into that chair. Beautiful. Hold, hold, hold here for 5 breaths. Sink deep. Get deep in that chair. Watch that upper body. making sure you've got good alignment. What's my default? What do I go to when I hear chair? What do I typically do? Find your alignment that works for your body. Make sure you've got that length, you've got that nice sink in the hips, strengthen the quads, make that your default. Beautiful. On your next inhale, come on up into your Tadasana. Beautiful job. One more time. Inhale those arms up and sink down into your chair. Beautiful job. Hold here. 5 breaths here. And then we're going to add on. You should feel heat coming up in your body. Beautiful job. Inhale here. And on your next exhale, take your right leg and step it back into high lunge. Beautiful. So this leg ideally shouldn't have too much movement in it, right? So you should be able to come from your chair into your high lunge to a nice deep lunge. Make sure that back leg is nice and long and contracted. Feet facing forward, hip bones are forward. You don't want to bias to the side, that's back. Beautiful, high lunge. Excellent job. Hold here, and again, working on strengthening those muscles around the knee, improving that health of the knee. Beautiful, and on your next exhale, come into Warrior 2. Now check your alignment with your Warrior 2. What are your feet doing? Make sure heel is aligned with the middle arch of the back foot. You've got a nice deep bend in the front leg, but again, make sure that that knee, check the angle of the knee. You don't want it bending in or twisting in. You want to make sure that for good knee health, that knee is pointed directly over those toes. Beautiful job. Beautiful. Now inhale into reverse warrior. Get that core work, feel a nice stretching motion, nice strengthening in that core. And back. Beautiful. Now back into your Warrior 2. Then go ahead and straighten out that front leg for a triangle. Begin your triangle prep. And you want to make sure you've got good alignment of the legs. Nothing has changed. We haven't changed anything in our lower body. You want to lean forward. Then you want to go on down to the floor or to your support. Now, with triangle, you may want to have a block handy, because what you want to do is make sure that you're maintaining your leg straight. Got a nice, good alignment from the hip all the way down to the ankle. And then you want to make sure that you're not compromising the upper body. So if you find that you are in a position in your triangle where you are not being able to get a full rotation of the upper body, or you're struggling in some fashion, you need to come up off the floor, take the dip out of the upper body, and then just come up so you could get that great benefit of the pose. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. Come back up to Warrior 2 and start to prepare for your half moon. Now, I recommend having a block handy for half moon pose. Of course, not recommended. Not required. It's definitely recommended. But you want to make sure that as you're getting ready to prep for your half moon that you're able to comfortably reach the floor, and then lift that body up. Take your time and find your half moon. Beautiful job. Beautiful, beautiful job. Some sides are going to be better than the other, so don't worry. If your balance is a little bit off, that's okay too. Find your half moon. Beautiful. Now calm down. Back into your warrior two. Turn to your warrior one. Beautiful. All the while making sure that you have good knee alignment. Knees are over toes, back legs. Got nice, good strength in the legs. And then from here, go ahead and bring your hands to heart center. Step that back leg in just a little bit. And then come into your pyramid pose. Go ahead and the halfway mark, reach those arms out long, and then come on down to the floor. Beautiful. So in pyramid, again, you want to make sure hip bones are forward, that you are aligned forward, and you can always use your blocks as a support if you need them. You can come here and then down here, or you can bring those hands to the floor. Beautiful. But here we are stretching our hamstrings and getting in that good work again for that all over knee health, stretching and strengthening. Beautiful. So again, hips are forward. Upper body is nice and long. You've got a good, nice long line. And your next inhale, go ahead and bring it up. And then exhale, step forward into Tadasana. And just take a moment here. Just notice how the two sides of the body feel. This side just feels really energized. You can really feel the difference. I know I can feel it from the hip all the way down to the ankle, which is really great for the knees. You want to make sure that you've got that nice line of energy there. Beautiful. On your next inhale, bring those arms up. And then exhale, sink back into your chair. Beautiful job. And hold. Hold here. Now what's your default? Remember our defaults. Check your alignment. What am I looking at down here? What are my hips and my glutes doing here? And then what is my upper body doing up here? So you're rooting and rising in your chair. Beautiful. And then go ahead and inhale in and bring it on up. Exhale, Tadasana. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, chair. Beautiful job. Again, check. What is your body doing? What's your default? By now, your default should be that great alignment. Got nice energy in our legs. Feeling that nice long line of energy through our core and our arms. Beautiful. Inhale it up. Exhale it back to Tadasana. Beautiful. Inhale those arms up. Then exhale into your chair. And then as I mentioned before, as you'll notice, all of a sudden see my feet are together. This is just how my practice goes. I start out with my feet kind of hip distance apart in the beginning, and then by some point, mid-range of my practice, I find my feet together. And that's okay. Make your practice your own. Don't worry about it being overly perfect or overly stylized. You want it to be yours, something that suits your body and something that you enjoy. Beautiful. And then from here, we're gonna add on. I'm gonna turn this way so you can see. And from our chair, nice upper body motion, lower body motion, nice deep dip in the hips. And then we're gonna step that left leg back into the high lunge. Beautiful. Again, hip bones forward, knee over toes. A nice long line in that back leg. Back leg is strong. Muscles are contracted. Upper body, core is tight, lifted. So grounding down, rising up. Beautiful. Beautiful for the knees. Strengthening those muscles around it. So you have good optimal health. Beautiful. I'm going to turn the other way. So when we go into our warrior 2, you can see me. Beautiful. Again, check that alignment. And if you need to adjust, adjust. You're going to find your foot positioning in time. You will find where your feet need to be, where they need to go on the mat to come into that position. But that comes in time. Beautiful. Warrior 2. Again, make sure the knee is directly over those toes. You want to make sure you've got a nice line of energy here, but you're not compromising that knee by twisting it in or doing anything funky there. You want to make sure that you are properly aligned to support that knee. Same with the back leg. Got a nice straight line of energy from the hip down to the toe. So your hips are here, going this way, here, going this way. Beautiful. Beautiful job. And then inhale into reverse. And again, nothing changes down here, but you are just stretching out that upper body and getting in that nice stretch in the back. But legs don't move. Everything stays the same. Beautiful job. Then you want to start to prep for your triangle. Stretch that leg out. If you need your supports, grab them. I'm going to stretch out. Beautiful job. So with triangle, the upper body, you start here, then you lean that upper body over, and then you come on down. And again, if you find that you're compromising the rotation of the core, you want to bring the arm up, because the action here is you want to make sure you're getting that good core rotation and strength, but that you're also properly maintaining alignment in your knees and in your legs, so you're not doing anything to cause discomfort or pain or injury in this position to your knees. Beautiful job. Breathe here. Then inhale it up into warrior 2. Beautiful job. Watch those arms. Make sure you're not crunching up. Make sure those shoulders are down and back. Looking over that front hand. I'm looking this way so I can look at the camera, but you're looking over that right arm. Beautiful. And then from here, start to prep for your half moon. Bring that back leg up. Get your hand position just right. And then go ahead and turn out. Find your half moon. Beautiful job. Hold and breathe here. Whether your hand is on the floor or on a support, you want to make sure you've got a nice long line of energy in your leg. Nice long line of energy in your core. is nice and firm and in support. Beautiful. Now step back. Your warrior two. And turn forward into warrior one. Check your positioning in your warrior one. Hip bones are forward. You've got that same nice long line of energy here in that front knee, facing forward. Beautiful. Now step forward. Hands to heart center. And then come into your Tadasana. And just take a moment here and acknowledge the two sides of the body, finding that equilibrium. Beautiful. So that series is one of our basic series of postures, but when you really focus on knee health, when you really focus on knee health and knee alignment, you can feel those subtle differences in how you're approaching postures, how you are moving in and out of poses. And those muscles are really great, again, for that contracting and strengthening series in our muscles. Now we're going to move into the stretching and flexibility motion. So go ahead and inhale up, then exhale into a forward fold, which I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me. Beautiful. Inhale to a half lift. Then exhale, plant those hands and step back into your plank. Now here in your plank, remember, nice long line of energy from toes to crown of head to fingertips. You've got a nice firm foundation here. Your body's not dipping or piking, but you've got a nice straight line. Beautiful. And you feel that action in your core. Excellent. Come to your knees. And go ahead and sink those hips back into child's pose. And you can take whatever version of child's pose you want. Just a couple of breaths here. And child's pose, and our next posture, which you'll take a nice inhale and roll up to a seated thunderbolt, are wonderful for stretching your quad muscles and really increasing, again, that flexibility in these muscles. So we worked on strengthening, now we're working on flexibility. The two work hand in hand. And when your body has that perfect blend of the two, you're going to have a really strong practice. Beautiful. And in your seated thunderbolt, your knees are tucked under, legs are together. You've got your grounding down here, but you've got that nice long line of energy here. Beautiful job. Now from here, we'll go ahead and slide your legs out in front of you. I'm turning to the front here. And then come into wide leg stance. So here you may want to have a support. You may want to have your bolster. If you find you need a little height in the hips, if you're having trouble getting your legs down to the floor, you might want to bring a little height to the hips. You might want to put blocks under your knees. From here, we're going to inhale and have a nice, long, tall, lengthened spine. And then exhale and fold. And again, you can fold over a support. You can fold into a support. If your range of motion here is not as deep and you're working towards deepening that, deepening your posture, then I suggest having the support here. Hands can be on the support, they can be on the feet, you can grab the toes, whatever works for you. Then inhale, lengthen that spine, and then exhale and fold. Beautiful. And here we're stretching inner thigh, hamstrings. Again, working all of those muscles that support the knee. Beautiful job. And hold here. Take a few more breaths. Your wide leg forward fold. Beautiful job. And then as you inhale, go ahead and bring the upper body up. You can move your support off to the side. And then bring your left leg round to the side and setting up for half Lord of the Fishes twist. So bring in that left leg and then take your right leg and bring it over the left knee. Then inhale up. Inhale those arms up. Then you can exhale and twist over to the right. A couple of different options for arms. You can grab and hold the leg. Get that nice release and twist in the IT band. That's one of the things that really do. The IT band really does impact our knee motion, so you want to go for poses that offer a little bit of release there. Beautiful job. Then what's the upper body doing? Shoulders are nice and straight, pointed off to the side. Again, you want to make sure you're not crunching down or compromising the pose in any way. If you find that you start to compromise as you deepen into the posture, just back off a little bit. Work towards what you need that posture to be for your body without compromising it. Beautiful. Exhale and release. Go ahead and release those legs. Shake them out. And then when you're ready, come into your twist on your opposite side. Beautiful. And you may notice that the two sides of the body are a little different. One might feel a little tighter than the other. Again, if you find that you have that, inhale those arms up. Go ahead and exhale and twist. If you find that two sides of the body are different, you may want to hold one side a little longer to help lengthen out that side and work towards equilibrium. Or you may want to come back to it. So you could do right, right again, or left, whatever. Or just hold in the tight side a little bit longer. And again, hand position can be, you can have a hold of the knee, or it's available to you, twist. But again, don't compromise the expression of the pose, and don't compromise your body to achieve a certain expression. You want to make sure that you are getting into the pose as it fits your body. Beautiful. And again, we're releasing that IT band, which is going to help for rotation and movement that helps keep our knees nice and healthy. Beautiful. And go ahead and unravel and stretch those legs out. Excellent job. And then from here, come into an easy seat. So again, just another position here to provide some stretch in those knees and in those hips. And an easy seat, if you find that you're way up here, You're gonna wanna have a support, either the blanket or the bolster as a support, so you can get that nice release and stretch in your body. Beautiful. But use what you need for you. Excellent job. And then from here, go ahead and release your legs. And then go ahead and lean back to a little mini boat. Again, just a little bit of core work here before we roll down to our backs. Beautiful job. And come into our bridge. So, go ahead and bring those heels close to the bum. Hands are planted on the side. Let me move the blanket out of the way so you can see. And then go ahead when you're ready on your next inhale, go ahead and lift those hips up to the sky. Beautiful. Again, great for knee health, strengthening those knees. Go ahead and bring those arms underneath if that's available to you and get a little more height in your bridge. Hold here. Beautiful job. On your next exhale, go ahead and release on down. Beautiful. Stretch those legs out long. On your next inhale, bring your knee into your chest. A nice stretch there. And if it's available to you, go ahead and grab that toe and stretch that leg out as far as it'll go. Beautiful. And just get a nice deep hamstring stretch. An option here is, if you cannot grab the toe, you can always keep it here. You can have a strap that will allow you to find your edge here. Strap is always a good tool to have available. Beautiful job. And then go ahead and squeeze that knee back in. And then go ahead and bring your left leg up and bring that foot flat to the floor. And place your other leg on top for a reclined figure four. Again, releasing that IT band, really helping that external rotation. Release that IT is going to really help that knee health. Beautiful job. Go ahead and bring that foot down to the ground and bring your other leg down to meet it. And go ahead and just stretch the whole body out long. And again, just take that moment to feel the two sides. Notice how different they feel. Beautiful job. Now go ahead and bring that left leg into the body. Stretch long. Circle that ankle one way and then the other. Just as a little release. I kind of find I sort of naturally do that when I fall into this position. And then on your next inhale, you can go ahead and a couple of different options. If you have a strap handy, you can bring your strap up and find your edge that way. You can grab the toes, stretch that leg out long. You may want to put a hand or something on the other leg if you find that you kind of lift up. But you want to keep both bones of the pelvis back on the floor. You don't want to lift. You can grab the back of the leg here. You want to get that nice stretch of the hamstring. So find what works for you, what's handy to you now. Beautiful job. And go ahead and release and pull that knee into the chest. Bring the other foot up. Cross it over for reclined figure 4. A nice release of the IT. And really great for external rotation mobility. Now everybody's body is different. Keep that in mind. So some people are going to have a wider range of external rotation than others. And that's okay. You can increase it somewhat, but just understand your own personal anatomy. Sometimes bones are thicker, or just the way they fit together is different. It's going to be different on everybody. So you might not achieve a certain full range of motion, and that's okay. But what you want to do is make sure that you're strengthening and increasing range of motion and flexibility in those muscles that support you in your postures. Beautiful. So go ahead and bring that down. Just go ahead and stretch out one more time. And then bring those legs down, and then take a moment to acknowledge the body and how it feels. Beautiful. Now bring those knees into your chest and find your happy baby. Releasing the hips. If you want, you can take a little back massage, or you can find stillness. When you're ready, go ahead and release those legs up to the sky. Circulate that blood flow throughout the body. The legs at the wall at the end of the practice is always so rejuvenating. It's relaxing, it's rejuvenating. There's something about this pose that just is an all-around, just 360-degree winner. Beautiful. Go ahead and squeeze those knees into your chest one last time. Take a nice, deep, deep inhale. And then go ahead and exhale the body long into your final rest. If that's Shavasana or fish pose, whatever feels good for you. As you lay on your back in Shavasana, and close your eyes. Just relax your body and your mind as much as you can. If you you start to feel an itch or a compulsion to move, or if you start to have wandering, fleeting thoughts come to mind, just try to refocus your practice. Tune back into the sound of my voice. Don't concentrate too hard, just take what serves and feel free to leave anything else behind. If you find yourself dozing off, just silently whisper to yourself, I will stay awake. At this point in your practice, I welcome you to revisit your intention. And just go ahead and take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, just silently repeat your intention to yourself. Now breathe naturally and calmly. Allow each breath to slowly take its course. Focus your awareness on each breath, every little detail of it. Notice the coolness and the sparkle of the inhale. It tickles your nostrils and rides down your throat. And then the warmth of the exhale as it comes back from your chest, through your throat and out, back through your nostrils. And as you are maintaining that awareness on your breath, begin to count your breaths from 1 to 10. With an inhale and an exhale being one breath. Focus solely on the breath. And when you reach 10, count back from 10 back to 1. Focusing on those details of your breath, cool and the sparkle and effervescence of that inhale, and the warm, soothing, relaxing comfort of the exhale. as you reach one, you find yourself imagining you're sitting on a rock by the side of a flowing stream, looking down into the crystal clear water. The water is your thoughts and emotions just flowing gently down the stream. Clear, subtle, drifting. Allow those thoughts and emotions just to flow. Just watch the little twirls and whirlpools of the stream straighten themselves out around the rocks and then back into the nice, quiet, calm stream of that river. Any particular thoughts that come to mind, just imagine them as a leaf lands in the water and then just watch it go. Now direct your awareness to your body, starting with your neck and your shoulders. Just notice how they feel. Is there any tension there? Just allow any tension, tightness, just to dissipate up into the air. Just feel your muscles release and relax. Become aware of your back, laying on the floor. Feel the earth supporting you and holding you up. And as the earth is lifting you up, just feel your body release and let go. Sink deep into that soft sand. Just feel a nice, calm wave of relaxation come over your body. Now bring your awareness to the muscles of your face, scanning the points between your eyebrows, bring awareness to your cheeks, to your lips, just releasing any tension you might be feeling there. Bring your awareness to your jaw, your throat, your shoulders, arms and legs. Now your torso. Just release any tension. Bring sensation and awareness to your arms, your shoulders, your elbows, tops of your hands and the palms of your hands and your fingers. Now bring that sense of awareness and relaxation to your hips, your legs, your knees, your calves and shins and ankles, heels and soles of the feet, tops of the feet and the toes. And as you have complete awareness over your entire body, shine the light of awareness just all the way down from the head to the toes. And shine that light inwards to your thoughts. And then bring yourself back to that river. And watch the stream bubble and ebb and flow. And everything flowing on down the river. And as you're watching this river peacefully ebb and bubble by, in your heart you feel beautiful light and energy. It's warm and glowing. This is thankfulness and gratitude. You're sending that light out into the world. Now begin to bring awareness back to your breath. And start to find life in those fingers and in those toes. And just wiggle them a little bit. And if you're ready, go ahead and circle the wrists and circle the ankles. A couple times in one direction, a couple times in another. And when you feel ready, go ahead and stretch that body long. Reach those fingertips up overhead and just press those toes out as far in the opposite direction as they'll go. And then when you release that stretch, go ahead and roll over to one side. Doesn't matter which. Just take a moment here to integrate in everything that we've done today. Go ahead and press your hand into the floor and come on up to an easy seat. You can leave your eyes closed, or if you prefer, you can just soften your gaze. Just take this moment of awareness and just notice how your body feels right now, and how differently you felt from when you started this practice today to where you are now. And thank your body for all of the wonderful things that it does for you. Extend that warmth, energy that's in your heart, not just out into the world, but down into the muscles of your body. Appreciate everything that it does. Love it and nurture it. I want to thank you for taking time to practice with me today. This wonderful class on knee health. I look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste.